Hey everyone, how's it going? I reckon I'm again bringing you another video today. Before we get to the video, I want to make sure that you're all aware if you're interested in going to PAX South the end of January next year, the tickets are on sale now, so make sure you go and grab those. Every day is still available, but you never know when they're going to run out, so grab them as soon as you can so that way you can make sure you get them so that way you can go. Trust me, you want to go to PAX. PAX is a great experience. If you're interested in being a gym leader, applications for that will be going up at some point tonight from what I hear from one of the admins. Applications are typically open for about a month, so if you need some time to finish coming up with an idea, you have a little bit. You can also, if you save the link to the application, you can go back and edit your application, update it, change some things, whatever you need to do. It's a little bit tricky to figure out what link, like what page of the form you need to copy. So, play with that before you close it out, so that way you make sure you got the right link. Because I had some trouble with that before. So yeah, if you have any interest in being a gym leader, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It makes PAX an even better experience. So don't hesitate to give it a try. Like I said, a lot of fun. With that being said, I'm going to go into today's battle. It's going to be another champion showcase from PAX Prime three weeks ago now, I believe, or is it 2 weeks? Again, I need to go back. It's been too long already. So this battle is going to be against KSU. I believe this battle was fairly early on the third day, so that would be the Sunday of PAX Prime. PAX Prime is 4 days as opposed to the others, which are 3. So this team, you might not be able to tell by looking at it, probably can't, but actually has a theme to it. This is going to be a Space Jam team, which I thought was a really cool idea when I heard of it. I was looking forward to seeing what Pokemon that the Challenger brought. So if we go through the list here, we have a Hitmontop, which is going to be Taz, which makes sense. Now, Hitmontop is not something you see very often, so I'm not entirely sure what to expect from it. The only thing I can be sure of is it probably has Rapid Spin. Rapid Spin can't be learned by a whole lot of Pokemon. Hitmontop is one of them, and it can be very useful, so wouldn't be surprised there. But don't know really what else to expect from it. The Aggron is going to be Jordan. I didn't really understand the connection, but I guess the Challenger saw it, and it was a good idea for the Challenger, so he ran with it, which is cool. Yeah, I've been trying to think of the connection, but I just don't see it. Aggron, I believe, tends to be a more defensive, not very an offensive Pokemon. It's a Steel type, so it's got really good defense. But it's another one I haven't seen very often, so not entirely sure what to expect from it. Let me see the Golduck, which, again, another one you don't see very often. Its base stat total is, I believe, a little low, so it's not the greatest. And, kind of no idea what to expect from it. And then we see, the Golduck is going to be Daffy, which is a pretty good connection there. Then we see the Diggersby, which is going to be Bugs for short, so Bugs Bunny. Diggersby is a pretty powerful, physically offensive Pokemon. It gets huge power ability. Has the ground type, so an Earthquake is going to be incredibly strong. So that's something to watch out for there. We see the Talonflame. As we know, it gets Gale Wings, which is going to give priority to all of its flying type moves. And it's got pretty good attack, so it's definitely a pretty big threat on any team. We see the Lopunny, which, looking at the team, is my guess for its Mega. The other option would be Aggron, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the Mega Lopunny. It's very fast and it's pretty powerful. It also gets that Scrappy ability, so it can hit Ghost types with its Stab, Normal, and Fighting type moves as well, which is really good. The Talonflame actually is going to be Tweety, and the Lopunny here is going to be Lola. So another two pretty good connections. The Talonflame is a little bit odd for Tweety. You get like the Firebird, doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but still pretty good connection. And Mega Lopunny is Lola, or even regular Lopunny, I think is a really, really solid connection. So that was a really good choice. So definitely has an interesting team here. I was looking forward to seeing what it was going to do. Obviously looking at team preview at the time, I didn't know who was what, although I could have some guesses. So I was looking forward to seeing that. So let's get this battle started. We can see how KSU did in his championship battle here. So he's going to start with the Lopunny, which is kind of what I was expecting. Nothing else really screamed like starter, so I figured might lead with a fake out. So as always, I start with my Scolipede. It's a typical starter. So I go for the Protect again, predicting the fake out. So it's going to prevent me from taking any damage, and it's going to give me the speed boost activation here. So that's going to make me faster than the Mega Lopunny, which is going to get me the Swords Dance. And because she didn't get the fake out damage, I knew I had my Focus Sash, so I could take an attack, and now I outspeed it, so I could, get a Baton Pass out or an attack or whatever. So he goes ahead and switches out the Mega Lopunny, goes into the Hitmontop, he gets the Intimidate off, which is going to be pretty nice. Instead of passing a +2 attack, I'm only passing a +1. So I'm going to go for the Baton Pass here. I'm going to go into my Hawlucha, which is going to be pretty good against a Hitmontop, with Hitmontop being fighting type. So he goes here for the fake out, which is going to make my Hawlucha flinch. So he goes for the switch here, which was a really smart move. Goes into the Aggron. So my Sky Attack isn't going to do a whole lot of damage because Aggron resists. Though it is going to activate my Unburden. It's going to double my speed, so now my Hawlucha is incredibly fast, and it's going to take priority move to outspeed it. Unfortunately, I do miss the high jump kick. It does have a fairly small chance to miss, and when you miss, you take 50% of your health as damage. So that's going to allow this Ice Punch to finish me off, no problem, which is very unfortunate for me. I'm going to go into my Serperior, and I'm going to start going for Leaf Storm, try and build up my special attack with the Contrary ability. So see, I'm at +2. He's going to hit me with the Ice Punch, which is going to do pretty good damage, although I am going to be able to survive it. And that +2 special attack I knew was going to allow me to knock out the Aggron with a Giga Drain, so I could recover some of my health back. So that's what I go for there. I'm going to lose a little bit of that to my Life Orb, which is unfortunate, but it does allow me to do quite a bit more damage. So he goes into the Talonflame, which as a Serperior I want nothing to do with. A Brave Bird is going to finish off my Serperior, no problem. So I go out to the Arcanine. Now, in this second battle, I still hadn't realized that I forgot to Ability Capsule my Arcanine and get it Intimidate. So it has Flash Fire, which I guess would have been useful if it had gone for a Fire-type move, but as you saw, I went for the Brave Bird, which is probably the smarter thing. So the Intimidate was really why I switched into the Arcanine. Lower that Talonflame's attack, so it can't do a whole lot. So he goes for the switch of the Talonflame. I go for the switch of the Arcanine, which is a good switch for me, because I don't want my Arcanine in there against the Golduck, with it being a water type, and now we can see it's a special attacker, which my Arcanine is physically defensive. So I did go into my special defensive Pokemon, which is my Mandibuzz, so it's going to take that Ice Beam fairly well, despite being weak to it, because its special defense is so high. So I'm going to go for the Toxic, so I can start doing poison damage to the Golduck every turn. I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot of damage by attacking it, because I have Foul Play, and we see the Golduck is a special attacker, so Foul Play isn't going to do a whole lot. So we can see here the Ice Beam it's going to take a few, but it will be enough to take out the Mandibuzz eventually. So he goes for this Ice Beam here. That's going to bring me down to 3 HP. That was very close. So hoping that I was going to be able to survive, I went for the Roost to heal back my health. We see here, I'm going to be able to heal back more than that Ice Beam is going to do. So I know now that, if necessary, I can out-heal this Golduck. The only way it's going to knock me out is with a crit, which I have to hope it doesn't get lucky. So we see there, again, not enough, so I'm going to boost up my health back here. So at this point, with that toxic damage increasing every turn, I know that Golduck has one more attack in it. So I'm going to go for the switch here. I figured, it seemed obvious another Ice Beam was coming. So I switched to my Arcanine. While not being especially defensive, he resists Ice Beam, so he's going to be able to take it pretty well. And I think the reason why I did this was to keep my Mandibuzz as healthy as possible. So I did get the, take a little bit of damage on my Arcanine, but it was, I guess, for the greater good to keep my Mandibuzz in a stronger position. So he's going to go into the Diggersby here after the Golduck faints to the toxic damage. Now, with Arcanine, I don't want any part of the Diggersby. I don't know if I can outspeed it to burn it with Will-O-Wisp, and there's always the chance to miss. So I switch out here. He goes for the knockoff, which is a smart move. I was expecting an Earthquake, which is why I went into Mandibuzz, so I wouldn't take any damage. But that was a good move on his part. It's going to get rid of the leftovers on my Mandibuzz, which is not going to help. So he switches out to the Hitmontop. I tried to poison that Diggersby before it left, unfortunately the switch, and then the miss on the Hitmontop. So I'm going to go out into my Scolipede, and here it kind of hurt me because I don't really know bug types all that well. I thought that bug was good against fighting type, but I guess I was wrong. So that Mega Horn's not going to do a whole lot. I am going to get the second one off because I now outspeed because my speed boost, but not going to be enough, and it's going to allow him to use the close combat to just finish off my Scolipede here. So down goes my Scolipede, so I come out back with my Superior, because I know I can probably finish it off here. I go for the Dragon Pulse, which, looking at it now, I'm not really sure why. Other than, it's higher power than Giga Drain, and it has, the 100 accuracy, which I guess I didn't want to miss with the Leaf Storm, and I figured that it would be enough to take it out. Unfortunately, it wasn't. Leaf Storm would have been the better option there, because that would have been strong enough to get rid of it, and it would have been a +2 special attack as well. Unfortunately, didn't make that smart decision while playing, and hindsight is 20/20. But my Mandibuzz is going to come in and finish off that Hitmontop, no problem. So he comes in with the Diggersby, goes for the Rock Slide, which is going to be very good against my Mandibuzz. Fortunately, Mandibuzz is just really bulky by default, so it's going to be able to survive that with 5 HP, a little bit of damage, but now it's going to go down, no problem, to the second Rock Slide. So I'm going to come in with my Dragonite. Now, I know another Rock Slide is probably going to be coming because I am Flying type, but I know I can survive it with my Multiscale still intact. That's going to activate my Weakness Policy, which is going to bump me up to +2 attack and +2 special attack. Well, it's just the attack that we care about. And I always like to go for the Dragon Dance as well when I know Weakness Policy activation is coming, or even when I know it's not. That puts me at +1 speed, +3 attack, so now my Dragonite is going to be incredibly scary. It's going to take a really strong defensive Pokemon to survive a hit, or it's going to take priority. Fortunately, I do have Extreme Speed, which is going to be a higher tier priority than the Gale Wings from the Talonflame. So I can finish that off no problem with an Extreme Speed. So he's here. He comes out with the Mega Lopunny, has that Fake Out, which is going to be even higher priority tier than the Extreme Speed. It's not going to do enough damage to take me out, and that's going to allow me to hit the Mega Lopunny with the Dragon Claw, finish that off, and that's going to be the end of that battle. Unfortunately, KSU wasn't able to get the win here and enter the Hall of Fame. although he does have some time to come back for a rematch. Like I said, I believe this was fairly early on in the third day. PAX Prime is 4 days, unlike the other PAXs, which are only 3. So he has a whole nother day and the rest of that day. I didn't accept rematches right away. People had to wait, but I was like, all right, give it a handful of hours and come back and see what I'm doing. So I will say he did come back for a rematch. I won't tell you how that went because that will be coming up in a future video. Did come back for his rematch, so it was good to see him again. Made a couple switches, so keep an eye out to see how that rematch goes. If you don't already know, some of you might. So yeah, that was a fun battle. It was really cool to see the Space Jam theme team. And it's always cool when a challenger comes through with some sort of fun theme, or if they're doing a type or something like that. It's really cool to see all the time. So this was awesome, especially Space Jam theme, because I loved Space Jam as a kid. So that was great. So just one more reminder, if you're interested in going to PAX South, tickets are on sale now. Go grab them before they get sold out. They sell out a lot slower than PAX East or PAX Prime, so you have more time. You don't have to rush. If they sold out as fast as those other two conventions, they'd probably be gone by now. But they are still available all 3 days. They have 3-day passes, it looks like. So go and grab those. And again, applications to be a gym leader in the PAX Pokemon League will be going up at some point tonight, from what I've heard. They're open for about a month usually, so you have some time to get your application in, and you can always go back in if you save the link and make changes or edits, and some small things can be done after applications are accepted if you need to or whatever. So if you have an interest in being a gym leader, I highly recommend applying. The PAX Pokemon League is a lot of fun as both a challenger and a gym leader, and if you want to give it a try, go for it. If you don't like it, you can always come back as a challenger next year or in the next PAX or whatever. So thank you everyone for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed that battle. We'll have more coming up. Again, trying to figure out the best schedule, because PAX Australia is coming up pretty soon, so I want to get out these videos before we start transitioning completely into Australia videos. So keep an eye out, and once I know that the schedule is going to be, I'll let you guys know. I have to see what I can do and all that. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video.